Welcome back. All right, so some news of the day for all you fine people on the internet. It is Wednesday. It is November 22nd. Of course, a very busy night tonight in the National Hockey League, and then tomorrow, it's American Thanksgiving. All right, so for Detroit, Jake Wallman is in the lineup tonight. Klim Kostin is out. They're going with 11 forward, 7 defensemen. Derek Lalonde saying it's not that Kostin's playing poorly. They're just going with 11 and 7 tonight. So, yeah, we'll see how things go for Detroit. They're, of course, in that rematch with the New Jersey Devils. We'll see how that one turns out because, again, I wore Detroit, so my track record with jerseys I wear in previews is pretty good. I've been tracking it so far this year. All right, Tampa Bay. Coach John Cooper kind of confirming what we've suspected for the last couple of weeks. It looks like Vasilevsky's going to play soon. Won't be tonight. He's saying there's a really good chance that Vasilevsky plays on the upcoming 3-game road trip. So is he really that close? Are they just making it look like he's that close? Will it be the early December return that we had expected, or will it be a little bit earlier than that? We'll see. So yeah, for Tampa Bay, they've got enough wins right now. They've got enough of a cushion, I think, that if they want to give an extra game or two to get ready, I don't think that's going to be a problem. Harvey Pinard is out 6 to 8 weeks for the Montreal Canadiens. Lower body injury for him. Jordan Harris is out indefinitely. Also a lower body injury, as the injuries have really piled up for the Montreal Canadiens yet again. This is a team that we know was decimated by injuries last year. And remember, when this team is 100% healthy, they're borderline as to whether or not they're going to be in the hunt for the playoffs. So just all these injuries makes it darn near impossible to stay in the hunt for a playoff spot. But yeah, so hopefully for Harvey Pinard when he comes back, we see the player we saw last season. I like Harvey Pinard's game a lot, so we'll find out. A lot of injuries going on with Pittsburgh as well. That's why I'm wearing the Wilkes-Barre jersey, because a lot of Wilkes-Barre players are going to be in the lineup, and Alex Nylander gets a bit of a chance. So it might end up being good for Nylander in that he had a really strong preseason and then got sent down, which he was not happy about. Which players shouldn't be. You shouldn't be like, yay, I'm going to the AHL, this is great, no pressure. So Rust is out tonight. He's day-to-day with a lower body injury. Raquel has an upper body injury. He's out long-term, which doesn't say much other than a month would be considered long-term for me anyway, so a month or longer. Ruhwedel is week-to-week. It's a lower body injury for him. So they signed Samorukov in order to have that depth on the blue line. He may very well be in the lineup tonight, and Nylander is looking forward to getting a chance to proving he should stick around. So you have to try to find the positives. Also, Hinostroza looks like it's going to be good to go and play tonight as well. So for Pittsburgh, this is going to test their depth. But again, it feels like with Pittsburgh, we talk about this a lot. The good news is Crosby, Malkin, the bigger names, not necessarily on that list at this point. And as long as those players stay healthy, Pittsburgh should stay in the hunt for a playoff spot. Alex Goligoski's nearing a return for the Minnesota Wild, which is a good news, bad news thing. Goligoski's a good defenseman. They could definitely use some help defensively at this point. However, with his contract coming off of long-term injured reserve, it puts them right back into the cap heck that they've been in really for quite some time now. So the discussion of their salary cap situation resumes. It will be interesting to see. So with Bill Guerin and not being all that happy about their cap situation, does he find a taker for one of their contracts and have to throw in a sweetener like a draft pick and then bring in somebody else he feels like will help fix something else on the team? It's going to be interesting to see how Minnesota navigates this, because it does feel like Bill Guerin wants this team to stay in the playoff hunt, and yet their record and their overall numbers would indicate this team is definitely lacking something in terms of being able to stay in that hunt. So, yeah, Minnesota getting Goligoski back should help them on the blue line, but it is going to put them in a situation where they won't have that cap space to help some other part of the roster should an opportunity arise. Vancouver will be without Pius Suter for this road trip that starts tonight in Colorado. 3 games, so he'll be out for at least those 3 games. He's being evaluated apparently. And so, yeah, we'll see how long Suter ends up being out. The good news is the depth guys in Vancouver have been playing well, and the Abbotsford Canucks have been playing well too. So when somebody comes up from Abbotsford to play in Vancouver, it doesn't feel like there's that sense of, oh, what are we getting? That there might have been with some of the years in Utica, which isn't a reflection on Utica. It's just, it's a better system now the Canucks have. It seems to be a better development. that they're going through. DiGiuseppe's a good example of that. Even though he's a veteran player, his plays got better. He's now a regular in the Vancouver Canucks lineup. And there's other guys in Abbotsford who are candidates to be that next player to be able to do that. I know Baines is one that's impressed at the Abbotsford level. I want to see him in the Canucks roster at some point this year and just see what he can do at that level. Now, I didn't report on this when it leaked out because, of course, it leaked out. And it's so clumsy. So the Utah Jazz did it first, where they tweeted or Z'd out, however you want to look at it. It just sounds dirty that way, doesn't it? Just doesn't sound right. So, yeah, tweet it out. Sounds better. Sorry, it sounds better. But they tweeted out the Winter Classic jerseys of the Seattle Kraken. Players wearing the Seattle Kraken jerseys before Seattle had revealed them. And I thought, of course. Yep, the NHL did it again. Because people were blaming Utah. People were like, how can the Utah Jazz do this? How can the NHL do this? How can teams do this? Have somebody else revealing their specialty jerseys? So what I don't understand with this is for people who are ordering jerseys from Adidas, you kind of order blind. You get this line that tells you here's what you're getting, and it might just say Rangers throwback. You have no idea what it's going to look like. None. No pictures. So that way it doesn't leak out, right? I think the whole thing's silly. I think because they always leak out now. We always find out beforehand. So why do we make the reveal look like, oh, look at this? We know. Everybody knows. It'd be like, you go to a wedding. The wedding's nice, but the bride's very clearly expecting. And then, after the wedding, you're at the reception. She can't drink. We have news. She's pregnant. You're all going, we know. So I don't understand. It's that silly. It's that silly from the National Hockey League that they can't do the reveals right. And then also with Vegas doing the reveal, saying there are a limited number of Vegas Winter Classics at the team store. So the other issue is this. So they leak out. It's almost never from the team. Initially we see it. And then they're almost always now very limited quantities of these jerseys. So the questions I have are about, the chain of creating these around the world and all this and where the production is falling short, or if this is just Adidas saying, yeah, no, we're only going to make 500 of this one and 800 of that one, and that's it. Because it definitely feels like there's a lot fewer. I know with the Bruins Centennial, it definitely seems like there's nowhere near the number of jerseys, and it's not listed as limited edition. That's the thing that I find interesting is it's not like they're bringing them out with numbers. Like I have my Newfoundland Growlers jersey that's got a number on it. A lot of my geeky jerseys are numbered because they have a limited run of those, usually 400 or 500. And so I find it weird the way that jerseys are released now, and I don't understand. Yeah, there's so many things I don't understand, and I wonder how it's going to change next season when Fanatics takes over. Will Fanatics have this done a little bit better? And how's this all gonna work? You shouldn't have your jerseys being revealed by other people and by other entities. I think it was Renee. I want to say Renee Moxley because she's married to John Moxley. On AEW is wearing the Vegas one, right? And just like how somebody gave this to them as a promotional thing that, hey, you should wear this, and so they wear it. But why aren't the teams like, I don't understand. I find the whole thing odd. Like, you're going for, wrestling fans and basketball fans maybe don't know what you're wearing or what sport. Like, it's odd. It's a strange way to do things. And again, it sounds like these are going to be limited. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them. This is the first year with jerseys that I've kind of been just shrugging my shoulders and saying, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get some of these. Some of them are very, very, very rare, hard to find. For instance, Philadelphia, they change over, they get new home and aways. To get the white away jersey, I have to order through the U.S. There are no ways to get the brand new Flyers jersey in Canada unless you want the orange one. If you want the white one, you have to order in the U.S., which I had heard Adidas was going to fix this year and they were just going to have the white jerseys available for everybody. And then, nope, that hasn't happened. So, yeah, hopefully it's a more transparent setup than it's been with Adidas. While we all have these concerns about the takeover that's taking place with Fanatics, and I still do. There's definitely been some bumps along the way with Adidas as well. And part of what I get the feeling with this is Adidas is in their last year of making NHL jerseys and distributing them, and they just want it done and over with. It just feels like they want it over with. Just they're done. There you go. Everybody just, that's it. We're done. Yeah, it's like that last candy out of the candy dish on Halloween. All right, I'm all sold out. Everybody go away. So anyways, yeah, let me know your thoughts. Do you like the new Winter Classic jerseys? I think they're fine. I mean, again, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the Vegas one because of how limited it sounds like it is. And I haven't heard much with the Seattle one, although the Utah Jazz have all of them. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how well they sell, as if we get that information anyways, right? It just feels so opaque, everything, and I don't understand why. Like the reveals, if you're going to hold off the reveal till the last moment, fine, but it keeps leaking out all the time. So if it's not something as clumsy as this, it's a setup where, somebody working at a store, whether it's a Lids or whatever, they get this advanced shipment and like, hey, look what they shipped us. Here's pictures. And there you go. It's out there already. So why go all cloak and dagger? I've talked about that before. I've talked about before how they could reveal these much earlier, build up demand. Also, probably manufacture more if they got it done earlier and make more money. That's the whole idea, right? Is you're supposed to be able to make more money. And it doesn't feel like they maximize that part of it. But hey, let me know your thoughts. And kind of a good note to end on. Jack Campbell's had a tough time with Bakersfield since being sent down by the Oilers. And last night he had a shutout against the Henderson Silver Knights. So the hope is that maybe he's starting to turn things around. And he did talk after the game about how tough it's been after being sent down. And I can't imagine. You've got this big contract. You want to prove that you're going to have that bounce back season. You win the starter's job in the preseason, and then the season starts, and it's kind of a nightmare right away. And within a month, you've been waived and sent down to the American Hockey League by your parent club, and you're trying to fight your way up. Well, being in the American Hockey League, and then your numbers don't get better. So he hasn't made any argument for himself that the Oilers need to bring him back up, and also has not improved his stock where another team is going to look at Campbell in the minors and say, actually, we should pick him up. That would help us a lot. So for Campbell getting the shutout, and if he can turn his numbers around, that at least improves his stock, and hopefully he can continue to play well and put up some good numbers in the American League. Because otherwise, I don't know what Edmonton does when the season's done. Obviously, you're not going to buy him out right now. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.